and by Ford. Visit your local North Texas Ford dealer. Ford is the best in Texas.
What a great night for football here in Los Angeles, California at the LA Coliseum. It's the Dallas Cowboys and the Los Angeles Rams. Bill Jones with Babe Loffenberg and DeMarcus Ware up here in the catbird seat. Let's go down to the field. Lindsay Draper is on the sideline. Hello, Lindsay.
Hey, Bill. Thank you so much. Yeah, we're in L.A. This is where dreams come true, right? You guys mentioned it about a year ago. That's what happened for Dak Prescott. Everything came to life, but tonight it'll be Kellen Moore getting the start. They'll try to work Cooper Rush in the third quarter and get Luke McCown some snaps towards the end of the game. But when I asked quarterback coach Wade Wilson, is it great to have Luke McCown, the veteran, in your locker room now? He said, hey, Kellen's a veteran too in his 6th year. You just haven't seen him play as much, so that's what tonight is for, Bill.
You see the numbers for Kellen Moore a week ago against Arizona. He got a lot of playing time in the first half. We expect much of the same tonight as he went 12 for 17 last week. And, Babe, it is nice having Kellen Moore back out there. Of course, a year ago at this time, he suffered the ankle injury early in training camp.
Yeah, broke his ankle about 3 days in, so that was disappointing for him, disappointing for the football team. And it's interesting, Bill, because who knows if Dak Prescott would have been Dak Prescott if Kellen Moore hadn't got hurt, because he was slated, of course, to be the backup at that time. But DeMarcus really looking forward to seeing Kellen Moore, see if he can build off the game he had last week against Arizona.
And that's what you have to do with quarterbacks. You have to build the confidence, and he was the guy last year. He ended up getting hurt, but now this is the opportunity for him to get out here and get reps and earn their positions.
On the other side of the ball, Bill, of course, we'll get to see last year's first-round pick, Jared Goff. Sean McVay, Rams head coach, said their offense is going to get about 6 to 10 plays to start this game off.
And they will get the football first. Sam Irwin-Hill, the rookie out of Arkansas, the Australian native, has the football teed up. Of course, Dan Bailey, the regular kicker for the Cowboys, and we are set to go with Pharaoh Cooper deep in the end zone for the Rams. And the kickoff goes 6 yards deep, and Cooper will take it out. Gets right back up to the 20-yard line or so, and that's where he is brought down by Sammy Seamster. Byron Jones, free safety for the Cowboys. He's looked good in training camp. He's come up with some picks in training camp, and the Cowboys need playmakers in their secondary.
One of the things he worked on all offseason, Bill, was catching balls. He said he caught every ball he could get his hands on. Didn't matter the kind of ball. Baseball, tennis ball. I said, what about a bowling ball? He said, nah, it's a little sketchy, babe.
I guess the main thing is you got to know how to catch.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, as they always say, DeMarcus, there's a reason you're on defense and not playing receiver.
Exactly.
But he worked on it.
Jared Goff, quarterback, second-year man for the Rams, and he throws incomplete. Bring up 2nd and 10 for the Rams as we're just getting started here. And take a look at the Miller Lite starting lineup on defense for the Cowboys. First-round draft pick, Taco Charlton, number 97. We'll talk a lot about him with DeMarcus. Demontre Moore, the other end, inside Lewis Neal, as well as Richard Ash. Damian Wilson, Anthony Hitchens, and Kyle Wilbur are your starting linebackers tonight. In the regular secondary, Scandrick and Carroll, the corners. Heath and Jones, who played a lot last week, are the safeties. 2nd and 10 for the Rams from the 19. And in the backfield, making the stop, swarmed under in Lewis Neal, number 66. Richard Ash manning the middle for the Cowboys on defense.
And that's a guy that everybody's been looking for. I mean, he's been making big plays. He has number 66 on, but that doesn't mean anything. He is a playmaker.
No, it's funny about him, DeMarcus, too. He's only 6 feet tall, so not the guy that scouts come back and drool over. But let me tell you, every time you look up, he's making a play. 6 feet, 280, basically a refrigerator with a couple of feet sticking out of the bottom of it. He has been tough.
An SEC product out of LSU, although he went undrafted. Now, 3rd and long, 3rd and 13 for Goff. Throws short. And Gurley up past the 25. He's brought down at the 26. Damian Wilson in on the stop along with Orlando Scandrick. And punt time for the Rams. That's a much better start than a week ago in Canton.
Well, and last week, DeMarcus, I think that they were planning on playing Jeff Heath and Byron Jones just a couple of series there at safety, or a series, but the way the Arizona Cardinals went through them, they ended up playing almost a half. Wanted to see him do something.
The Sun Field for Lance Lenore, the rookie, undrafted free agent, comes up, muffs it, loose football, and the Rams look like they have it. And they do. You know, it was an adventure at times in training camp on punt return drills with the rookie Lance Lenore back, and he was battling the sun. He was battling a lot of things and didn't come up with it.
Lance Lenore, when I first walked down the field, it was actually the sun. You couldn't even see, and he was actually bobbing some of the punts. So, you know, this is something that they should have took care of it before the game.
Yeah, and right there, DeMarcus, you can see him. He's struggling getting to that ball. He's just got to get away from it. I know as a rookie, you're trying to make the team, and you say, well, I'm not going to make the football team if I just let this ball bounce, but you're really not going to make it. Rich Bisaccia, Cowboys special teams coach, letting him have it there in that video.
Rookie out of Western Illinois. Not much there for the Rams on offense as Goff stays in there at quarterback and Todd Gurley on the carry.
I do think that's the hardest thing for a lot of these young guys, DeMarcus, because you want to say, hey, you want to make the play, you want to go do something above and beyond, but really if you just stick to your basics, that's what ends up being the best thing.
That's what fundamental football is about. Getting out there and making plays, but not making mistakes that can cause your team to have short field goals.
So 2nd and 9 for the Rams at the Dallas 32. Play fake, rolling left, wide open receiver, and that is their 3rd-round draft pick, Cooper Kupp out of Eastern Washington, and that's a first down inside the 15-yard line.
I was walking up to the steps here at the Coliseum. There is no elevator to take you down to the field, so I was down to the field before, and DeMarcus experienced this. You get a little sweat going.
It's actually pretty hot out here today,
yeah.
and these guys are actually playing in the heat.
We're telling the people back in Texas it's hot here.
It's a little warm in the sun. Not
Yeah.
Texas warm,
No,
but
it's not.
warmer than California folks are used to.
First down at the 13 after a pickup of 19. And no running room once again for Gurley as he is stopped at the 13-yard line. No gain. Damian Wilson in on the stop, 57.
And the guy to watch is actually Damian Wilson. He's one of those guys that has so much speed, and they actually did a power stunt on that play. And he actually came on the outside to make that a great tackle.
You say power stunt.
Pirate stunt. It's power stunt to where the tackle and the defensive end go underneath to the B gaps to give the linebacker opportunity to scrape to go make the play.
There we go.
We've got some football lingo here from DeMarcus Ware. We'll try to dissect as we go along here. Outside goes Gurley again. He's a workhorse here early. Inside the 10.
Todd Gurley has been an interesting guy, and you tend to think he just burst onto the scene, Bill, which he did. Because his first 4 games, he was over 100 yards in each of those. Came off of a knee injury from Georgia. His last 24, he's had one 100-yard game. So a lot of people are saying, okay, which Todd Gurley are we getting? The first-round pick, the top 10 pick that we had, who, again, burst onto the scene with 4 straight 100-yard games, or the guy that has struggled a little bit lately? It doesn't help them. They haven't been very good passing the football.
Yep, that's right. 3.2 yards a carry last year. In contrast, Zeke Elliott, 5.1 yards a carry on the slant and
Fumble.
Loose football, scramble for it in the end zone.
Well, they're calling
And
it
it's a
a touchdown. Well, they review all scoring plays, as we know now. It's just a little slant to the inside. And out comes the football. Now you're going to have to look, Bill and DeMarcus, did he have possession? Are they going to rule that a catch? Because if they rule this, did he make a football move after he caught the football before the ball came out?
I mean, there was a great hit by Hitchens. That's what you want. You try to get the ball out.
Is a completed pass, fumbled and recovered in the end zone by Los Angeles for a touchdown.
That's Craig Wolstad, our referee. And again, they're probably holding him right now up in the booth to say, hey, let's have a look at this, make sure that it was a catch. Is that bad luck, though, DeMarcus? Here you are. You force a fumble. You're ready to go take it the other way, and they end up scoring a touchdown. Appears to be a touchdown.
If you fumble it, you got to find some way. Everybody has to corral around the ball. And
Looked like Orlando Scandrick may have had a shot. I have to go back and look on the replay.
And as you said, they review all scoring plays, and it was a quick review. They counted it as a catch for Robert Woods. The fumble into the end zone. Cooper Kupp recovers for the touchdown, and it's Greg Zuerlein with the point after, and the Rams take advantage of the muffed punt by Lance Lenore and are on top 7-0 early in the first. John's Pizza, better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
As bad as Lance Lenore felt after he fumbled the football to Marcus, he felt even worse after the Rams just scored a touchdown on. At least you hope your defense bails you out, right?
You hope your defense bails you out. I mean, when you make big plays like that, especially if you make them fumble, everybody has corral to the ball.
Here's Lance Lenore, Bill, and now you got to hope he doesn't say, well, I'm going to make up for that last bad play by making a spectacular play here.
I think you just get out and play. You have to just get out there and play.
So he is deep on, and he's doing, has no chance that time to make a bad play. It went over his head. Greg the leg put it over his head. Zuerlein. Starting at quarterback for the Cowboys tonight is Kellen Moore. Did not have an opportunity a year ago, as we mentioned earlier. He had the ankle injury early in camp last year. Dak Prescott took advantage of it. Kellen Moore gets the start as Prescott, for the second straight game, does not play tonight. Cowboys start at their own 25-yard line, and Darren McFadden is the running back behind Kellen Moore. Keith Smith, the fullback, as Ezekiel Elliott is not playing tonight also. No Dez Bryant. And the handoff to McFadden. Has some running room for about 5 yards up to the 30-yard line. Take a look at the Miller Lite starting lineup for the Cowboys on offense tonight. You got Emmett Cleary in for Tyron Smith at left tackle, Byron Bell at left guard, the Pro Bowlers in the middle, Frederick and Martin, Lyle Collins at right tackle with a new contract, McFadden and Smith in the backfield, Andy Jones, 7th round draft pick rookie Noah Brown, and Jeff Swain. Jason Witten, the 10-time Pro Bowler, also not playing tonight. 2nd and 5 from the 30. Moore out to the near side to Andy Jones. And they can't connect, and it's 3rd and 5.
Here's where you want your quarterback to put his foot in the ground, Bill, and be able to complete passes. Always remember John Elway, and DeMarcus, you were up there in Denver with him as your team president, but he said they pay me for third downs. So here's your 3rd and 5. You got to make the first down. They give you a new set of downs.
Got Terrence Williams out to the near side of the field. Number 83 is getting the start tonight. 3 receivers to the left. Moore looking left. That's Andy Jones again, and it's short of the first down marker, and it's going to be 4th and 3, punt time for the Cowboys.
And a blitz by the Rams here, and we saw Arizona blitz a lot last week. And you have a feeling that Wade Phillips may want to do a little something to Dallas that he might not want to if it was a different team. Do you not, Bill Jones? Go ahead.
I would think maybe DeMarcus Ware would be a better person to ask about that.
I know that on that play he did bring both of the Will and the Sam back on that play, so
we'll get into some Wade Phillips talk a little bit later. He is the defensive coordinator, first year with the Rams. Shakir Ryan returning the Chris Jones punt, and nowhere to go.
Great punt by Chris Jones, just pinning him to that left sideline as the Cowboys were coming down to go cover that thing. The newly minted Chris Jones, I might add.
That's exactly right. He's got a new contract also. We're back to the Coliseum in a moment. Hope is the only thing left. Donate today. The Salvation Army, doing the most good. Chris Jones with a nice punt, and he has a nice new contract as well, agreed to this past week in Oxnard. And the Rams start deep in their own end of the field, their own 13-yard line, as Jared Goff's night is done, as is Todd Gurley's. And the new quarterback in for the Rams, Sean Mannion. Has time, nothing open, and throws it away. 2nd and 10.
So the Jared Goff era is over, at least for the night.
For the night. He went 0-7 as a starter last year for the Rams. And, of course, Jared Goff was the #1 overall pick of the Rams last week. They decided to go with Goff instead of Carson Wentz, who was the #2 pick of the Philadelphia Eagles and had a very nice rookie season.
I always find those interesting too, Bill. You had Goff and Wentz. You've had Luck and RG3 1-2. You've had Manning and Leaf 1-2. Drew Bledsoe, Rick Meyer 1-2 in the NFL draft at quarterback, and you always follow their careers.
And there's a drop ball, and it's going to bring up 3rd and long. But of course, last year, looking back now, it should have been Prescott, then Wentz.
Well, he wasn't in the, as a 4th rounder, yeah, he wasn't in the conversation there, was he?
No, he wasn't. But if we drafted again, I'm saying Prescott, then Wentz.
Well, and you hear a lot of, well, had a great team, and he had this, and he had that, and he had Zeke Elliott back there to hand the ball to. That's all true. But eventually you got to sit back and throw the football, right? And he did it. 23 touchdowns, 4 interceptions.
And it started right here at the Coliseum in L.A. Passes short of the first down.
That
ball come out like it might have. There's a scramble for it, but it is still short of the first down. If the Rams did hold on to it, looks like they did. And that was Malcolm Brown out of the University of Texas.
Well, one thing, Rod Marinelli has to be happy about DeMarcus. They've shaken the ball loose a couple times here.
And that's one thing that they do in practice very well. They make sure that they try to strip the ball out, create fumbles, and you can see that DeMontre Moore got so much pressure on this play to make him make an indecisive decision and throw the ball at him.
Johnny Hecker, Pro Bowl punter. Lots of hang time there, and Lance Lenore, not in the sun this time, is able to field it, but nowhere to go. At that same spot on the field, the 33-yard line that he muffed it last time. Rams lead the Cowboys early. It's 7-0. Kellen Moore back out there in a moment. Always a good time to order a Papa John's pizza. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's. The shadows of Hollywood here. Dak Prescott has done Hollywood a little bit in the offseason with a lot of endorsement deals. That will happen after a Rookie of the Year season, right, DeMarcus?
You know, when you play very well, I mean...
Speaking of Hollywood, DeMarcus is going to Hollywood, too. Right? From the 35-yard line. Kellen Moore, and that ball goes incomplete to Darren McFadden. Of course, the news came down yesterday that Ezekiel Elliott suspended 6 games. He will appeal. He has 3 business days in which to file the appeal, and then 10 days before a hearing, or sometime within a 10-day period, a hearing will take place. And then the final arbiter in the bill, whether it's the commissioner or a designate of the commissioners, will make a final binding decision on whether it's a 6-game suspension or less. 2nd down and 10. Here goes McFadden. Bottom line is the Cowboys are well stocked at the running back position.
Yeah, not to deal with should he, shouldn't he, was it right, was it wrong in terms of the punishment, and I don't know anything about all that. Okay, I don't know anything. But what I do know is the Cowboys are probably as prepared at that position, Bill, as any in terms of filling that guy. Now, hard to replace the NFL's leading rusher, but you've got Darren McFadden, you've got Alfred Morris. Those are 2 guys that I think you could hang your hat on and feel comfortable with.
Let me ask you this. Who has the most 1,000-yard rushing seasons on this Dallas Cowboys roster?
Be Alfred Morris.
That would be Alfred Morris. He had 3 his first 3 years in the league with the Washington Redskins. Beyond the reach of Jeff Swain, and it's going to be punt time again for the Cowboys. McFadden with 2 1,000-yard seasons, and of course Zeke had 1,631 yards rushing last year.
And as comfortable as Kellen Moore looked last week against Arizona, Bill, he just seems like Wade Phillips. He's bringing some blitzes. He's got him, I don't want to say confused, but there's a little bit going on. Not as comfortable. Had Jeff Swain open there and just missed him.
So Chris Jones is on for the 2nd time after another 3 and out for the Cowboys. Fair catch called for at the 19-yard line. So DeMarcus, what are you seeing that Wade Phillips is bringing defensively for the Rams?
I mean, one thing that Wade is doing very well is he's making sure that they don't get outside. He's bringing the Sam and the Will backer, but he's actually mollying the guys up in the A-gap, meaning the Mike and the Will coming up into the A-gaps to make sure that it's a 5-man protection. And that creates a lot of pressure sometimes.
So from the 20, Sean Mannion in the Rams. Wade Phillips 10 years ago became the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys in 2007. There's Malcolm Brown. I mentioned he's out of the University of Texas. He went to Cibolo Steele High School in San Antonio. And by the way, Wade, of course, became an author this offseason, too. His book, Son of Bum. Talking about his dad, Bum Phillips, Super Bowl ring in Denver. And Jerry Jones talked about him. Talked about DeMarcus Ware also in the Hall of Fame speech.
He's a great defensive coach.
Yeah, 40th year in the NFL.
40th
for Wade.
That is a long time.
40.
And he's been doing it for a while.
2nd and 4 for the Rams. Byron Jones up to help make the stop. Short of the first down. Well, that's big for the Cowboys, for Byron Jones and Jeff Heath to be able to come up and run support, because that was something that Barry Church did very well for the Cowboys.
One thing that I can see that it was loss contained by number 95, and they gave sort of opportunity for number 31 to make the tackle, but he should have been there to sort of hold it down, squeeze that B gap a little bit tighter, so it would have probably been a tackle for a loss.
David Irving in there, number 95 at left defensive end. Taco Charlton is the right defensive end, number 97. First-round draft pick out of Michigan. 3rd and 2. Mannion has a man. Pharaoh Cooper. And that's a first down for the Rams. Sammy Seamster defending.
First and 10. Los Angeles.
You know, if you come back here, Taco Charlton got a good inside rush, but the ball gets out of Sean Mannion's hand so fast. And that's the difference today, DeMarcus. You don't see quarterbacks with 7-step drops like back.
A lot of quarterbacks never hold the ball right now. It's all quick passes. All quick passes.
You get tired of going after them?
Never. You have to keep the tenacity and keep it rolling.
Bootleg to the right side. Tyler Higbee, 48-yard line.
Ball came out again, but I think they ruled him down.
They rolled him down at the 48-yard line. These are the third-team corners for the Cowboys out there. Seamster and Leon McFadden.
Yeah, in case you just joined us, Orlando Scandrick, Nolan Carroll got the start at the corners. Not expected to see Wouzier, the Cowboys' second-round pick. He's been dealing with a little injury.
Otherwise known as Cheeto.
Cheeto, sure.
The second-round pick out of Colorado. And then a Jordan Lewis, the third-round pick out of Michigan, has been hobbled in training camp, and we have yet to see him in a game yet. He hasn't returned to the practice field much. High snap. Mannion tries to fall on it, and it looks like he's able to recover it. But a huge loss for the Rams all the way back to the 20-yard line.
I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure that their center here, Austin Blythe, didn't think that Mannion was underneath, that he was underneath. Now, I know it seems strange when you don't know that another man's hands are underneath your rear end, but he snapped the ball so hard, so violently, that I think he...
That was a high ball.
That was real high.
That was really high. Really high.
Sounds crazy, but I think that's what happened right there.
3rd and 35, draw play. And Malcolm Brown gets about 10 out to the 30, mark it to the 29.
Now, you see some strange things in preseason games like this, DeMarcus, where quarterbacks aren't used to working with a particular center. You got 4 centers working practice, quarterbacks. And
that's why you call it preseason, to work all the kinks out before the season starts.
Let's take another look at that snap here, and you tell me. I mean, that is so high. Again, I'm not so sure he didn't think he was snapping to this quarterback.
But if the quarterback is under center, do you snap it that hard that it goes 30 yards downfield?
Oh, yeah, it comes.
Okay.
Yeah. You can break your fingers if you're not prepared.
If you're not a man like Babe Lumpenberg.
No, but let me just say, the one time, if you just keep those fingers under the center and you have them dangling a little, and one ball in there, you open them up quickly. You say, that didn't feel so good.
A successful punt return for Lance Lenore. Cowboys take over. Game is brought to you by AT&T, mobilizing your world. You see them all over the stadium, cell phones. Cowboys back on offense with Kellen Moore. Unable to get anything going so far in the first 2 series for the Cowboys. First team offensive line still in there with the exception of Tyron Smith, as Emmett Cleary is the starter at left tackle. Patton on the carry there. Tyron Smith has been in and out of practice here in the last couple of weeks in Oxnard. Cowboys don't believe it's serious, but just a little bit of back stiffness. They don't believe it's related to the issues that he's had in the past, and so they're going to be deliberate in returning him to practice. After all, he is a 4-time Pro Bowler. And it's very early in the preseason still.
Played his college football right here in the Coliseum.
That's exactly right. Under a little bit of pressure is Moore, and he can't get it to McFadden.
Cowboys and Kellen Moore 0 for 2 on third downs. They've had 3 and out on their first 2 possessions. 3rd and 7 here. They got to get something going. And a little bit reminiscent of the Hall of Fame game against Arizona. They fell behind 15-0. Defense wasn't playing well. Defense is playing well today. But the offense struggled a little early, then got it going. But you need to get that first down and get a new set of downs for you.
Got 3 receivers to the right this time. McFadden alongside Moore, looking into the sun. And underneath it goes. Andy Jones just past the 40, but it's not enough for a first down. And once again, it's a 3 and out for the Cowboys and time to punt.
Man, that's twice he's completed balls here on third down to Andy Jones that didn't make first downs. 3rd and 5, they made 4. 3rd and 7 here, they make 4 again.
So it's Chris Jones again here late in the first quarter. Jamil Showers, the up man, was playing quarterback for the Cowboys last year here. Now safety after a year on the practice squad. And it's Shakir. Oh, there's Sam Irwin-Hill that time punting. So Chris Jones has earned his contract. No more preseason punting in this game for him. Sam Irwin-Hill will do the kicking and the punting the rest of the way. There is a flag down on the field back at the Cowboys' 43-yard line.
During the kick, holding, return team, number 84. The penalty is 10 yards. They'll keep the ball, first down.
So that'll back up the Rams. John Deere, the official tractor of the Dallas Cowboys. Find a dealer at myjohndeerdealer.com/football.
What if John Deere was a takeoff of Dear John letter type of thing? You know? Of course, it has 2 E's in the John Deere, but spelled a little differently. But
Dear John.
It's
Dear
a thought.
John. Dear John, I want a John Deere.
It's a thought only Babe Loffenberg would think of. From the 11-yard line. They play fake and under pressure and drop back at the 1-yard line. There's Taco Charlton, DeMarcus Ware.
That was an awesome play by Taco Charlton just then. He got overset by the tackle, went underneath immediately to go and make that play. And you can see how fast he went underneath. You have to be able to react as a defensive end. And that's one thing that I told him. You have to sharpen your toolbox. Make sure in these types of games, because you're going to see it over and over again during the season. If you're a fast guy, you're going to get the overset and you have to react fast.
That's Pace Murphy, a first-year player out of Northwestern State, number 72, that he raced by to sack Mannion for a 10-yard loss. And trying to get out of the end zone is the Rams running back, and he is able to get to the 2-yard line. That's Malcolm Brown.
Boy, and that pass rush is a great deodorant for your secondary, because on that play where Taco got his sack, Mannion's got an in route wide open. It looked like a breakdown in coverage. Now you come out, run the ball, and you stuff them again.
Yet again, it was the same thing. They did the power stunt where they had the defensive end and the tackle go underneath to make sure that number 57 able to make the play on the outside so they cannot run anywhere and not getting yards.
At 57, of course, is Damian Wilson, who is the Cowboys' starting strong side linebacker, getting a real opportunity to get some reps tonight as a lot of the first teamers are out of there. Malcolm Brown gets nearly back to the original line of scrimmage. Hard hit at the 10-yard line.
I'm not so sure that ball didn't come out too.
Malcolm Brown is fighting to hold on to the football. Looks like he still had it.
This play looks like it was a fumble. One thing that they're doing well, they're really attacking the ball. and they're putting a helmet on the ball, and that usually creates fumbles.
Even on the Rams touchdown, they put a hat on the football, and it turned into a Rams touchdown by their third-round draft pick, Cooper Kupp, returning a fumble, or recovering a fumble in the end zone. 7-0 through one quarter.
Breakups, fumbles, or getting to the quarterback, he has to create his identity. He's going up against Tyron Smith. He's going to get better. DeMarcus, I think you know a little bit about Tyron Smith getting better back in the day going against you.
You know what? Going against Tyron Smith, he was like going against a brick wall.
Yeah.
And he had arms for pliers that can grab onto you. And once he did that, the game was over.
Just about the strongest hands in the league, maybe?
He does have the strongest hands in the league.
And you know what, funny, DeMarcus, people talk about strength as bench press, or I can squat 600 or whatever it may be, but they forget about the hands. And I have a big hand. And Tyron Smith I shake his hand, he just wraps it about 4 times around.
It engulfs you. And when he punches you, it feels like you just got on an EKG machine or something and turned it up.
Even in practice.
Yes.
He's an amazing athlete, really is.
2nd and 6. Moore moves in the pocket and can't hit his intended target that time.
Yeah, and Moore's just a little bit off, just a little bit jumpy.
And Wade is really making sure that he's not able to make the long passes. So he's bringing the cornerbacks. He's bringing extra linebackers to make sure that they have a 5-man protection.
Yeah, but that's a pass there, DeMarcus on the run. He was flush, but he had time to make an accurate throw and didn't. But here we go. 0 for 3 on 3rd downs, the Cowboys are. They need one here, 3rd and 6.
They've had 3 straight 3-and-outs to start this game. And Moore underneath to McFadden. Can he get the first down? With a stiff arm, he's got the first down. Darren McFadden.
Boy, that's all Darren McFadden right there. When he checked it down, Kellen Moore did, I thought, okay, that's not going anywhere.
But that's one thing that McFadden does well is get those yards after the catch.
Yeah, very, very nice. Yeah, you played with him, DeMarcus, correct?
Yes, I played against him a couple times. He's one of them guys where once you give him the ball, he's in the open field. It's hard to get just a single tackle on him.
Like Ezekiel Elliott, Darren McFadden back in 2008 was the 4th pick in the draft, 2-time Doak Walker Award winner, and he's still not all that old. He came out so early. He was only 20 years old, I think, when he was drafted, so he hadn't even reached 30 yet. And he's now in his 9th year in the league.
And he just does whatever you ask him to do. That's one thing about him. Ultimate team guy. It's probably what's, I don't want to say kept him around. Obviously, he has a lot of ability, but he's back there as a personal protector, DeMarcus. On the punt team, show me a lot of 4th pick of the draft to do that.
And a lot of guys, they have so much ego.
Yeah.
But he's not one of those guys. He's doing what he needs to do to help the team.
Boy, Jason Garrett just raves about Darren McFadden and how tough he is. And there goes McFadden with a big hole over the left side. There's a flag down in the secondary.
Not the place where you want to see the flag come from. It's typically a hold.
Number 75. 10-yard penalty.
And that is Byron Bell, the veteran offensive guard who Jason Garrett was talking about him before the game. They like what they've seen so far out of him. He's got his weight down, but they don't like this where he's called for a hold. It's Bryce Hager, the linebacker out of Baylor.
Does it look like a hold to you, DeMarcus? Oh, wait, why am I asking a defensive
Yes.
guy? Why am I asking a defensive guy?
Did you see those big white gloves out there?
So it's 2nd down and 7. Cowboys need someone to emerge at left guard. There's Noah Brown, the 7th-round draft pick wide receiver out of Ohio State who has a first down.
Yeah, one thing you got to be careful of there, Brett, as a receiver, DeMarcus, is when you come back up inside, it looks like, oh, there's a lot of running room. But you know those big bodies are coming inside out, right?
You know, the gap closes up very, very fast, and all of those defensive linemen are taught to pursue to the ball. Because if he even thinks about going inside, there's a 300-pounder coming in there ready to plow him down.
And you see the ball get shook loose on some of those. It looks inviting. You say, wow, I think I got some running room, but it's a lot of big, fast bodies coming out to separate you from the football.
First down at the 19-yard line after the catch by Noah Brown. Under pressure is Moore, and he'll throw it away. 2nd and 10.
Collins on that play was actually looking for the chip from 41. So he's supposed to got a little bit of help.
Yeah.
The fullback Keith Smith, number 41.
Kellen Moore took a hit last week, and he said it actually felt good after the injury, and that's right down. He broke his ankle. He said he wanted to kind of test it, He said it's one thing to just drop back in practice and not get hit.
And the draw play to McFadden, bounces outside. And he'll be run out of bounds. That's Cody Davis out of Texas Tech and Stephenville High School. He ran him out of bounds, but a flag down.
2 flags down. Usually that's not a good sign. You can't argue your point. When it's just 1 flag, Bill, you can write to Marcus. You can go to that official and say, hey, what were you looking at? But when there's like 3 or 4 flags.
Holding. Offense. Number 75. 10-yard penalty. Replay. Second down.
And I think this time DeMarcus Byron Bell got his money's worth. The last one I was maybe. Left guard there. Oh, yeah.
It's an embrace.
The thing is, once your hands get outside, of the guy, you have to let him go. They're going to catch that every time.
That's how Babe greets me every day.
I do.
With a big old hug, and I pull away.
Does he have white gloves on?
I'm not a hugger. 29 yard line. Oh, and trouble as Moore got the football away. It's an incomplete pass.
It's supposed to be this much pressure when you've got your first team offensive line in there, is there? Sam McCleary at left tackle getting beat around the corner here. He won't be well, of course, you never know. We talked about Tyron Smith's back injury. You never know if you're going to be playing him. But ordinarily that would be manned by Tyron. Well, they've struggled on 3rd down. How do you like 3rd and 20, Bill?
Usually don't like 3rd and 20. Screen. Keith Smith, the fullback. Plunging forward inside the 15 to the 14, but he needed to get inside the 10 to the 9.
Wow, nice job here. And this time Wade Phillips brought the blitz from the opposite side. Sometimes that can be a big play because they're a man, huh?
Yes, and it makes the quarterback have to throw the ball right now.
The benefit is if you get him in man coverage, the back is typically turned to the ball carrier there because the defensive backs are running with receivers downfield.
And Dan Bailey is on to attempt the field goal. With Chris Jones holding, ball will be set down at the 22-yard line. A 32-yard attempt for Bailey. And Dan Bailey is good as usual. And the Cowboys are on the board. 7-3. Rams lead it here in LA with 10:20 to play in the 2nd quarter. Grab all 7 collectible Dallas Cowboys cups with your favorite players exclusively at 7-Eleven. Beautiful night for football here in Los Angeles. Sam Irwin Hill will tee it up. After Dan Bailey's 32-yard field goal put the Cowboys on the board. It's 7-3. Rams lead the Cowboys.
Dan Bailey, who got the night off in Canton, Ohio on that Thursday night. First time he's ever not kicked in an NFL game, be it preseason or regular season. He said he doesn't know what to do with
those stripes now. So they got him into this one tonight. He is true as usual on the field goal. Rams will take over at the 25 as the kick goes into the end zone. Scoring drive for the Cowboys, 33 yards in 9 plays. Capped by the Bailey field goal. The Cowboys have now secured Bailey and Chris Jones there to long-term contracts. Special teams is so important. Rich Bisaccia, the special teams coach, and of course they have the veteran long snapper LP Ladouceur as well, who has been working on a multi-year contract for several years now,
and
like for a decade.
Literally flawless. Number 91, right. LP Ladouceur snapping the football. Hasn't had a bad snap since he's been here.
From the 25-yard line, the pass is complete and nearly enough for a first down for the Rams. Gerald Everett That's their high draft pick tight end. Their highest pick in the draft this year, Gerald Everett, was a second-round selection. The Rams made a trade yesterday acquiring Sammy Watkins from the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, how about that? Sitting out here in Los Angeles going, well, big news here, obviously. And they have struggled with the deep ball. They've not had a 1,000-yard receiver since Torrey Holt. That's the longest stretch, 2007. That was the longest stretch of any NFL team to not have 1,000. Yeah, remember Torrey Holt?
Yes, I do.
You have to go back to Techno Bowl probably to find him.
And football comes out. Once again, how many fumbles have there been tonight? DeMarcus Ware, our statistician up here tonight, has got a count of 5.
I've got
you
a
like
count
this,
of 5. We have to count
up here.
I say it's 5. My eyes are bad. I've got glasses on right now. But.
And the Rams are on it.
That's the problem. The Rams have recovered all of them, one of them for a touchdown.
But that tells you that there's a lot of ferocity to the hitting there. But as you look at it again, Davis was losing the ball even before he got hit here. Lance Lenore, who fumbled the Cowboys punt, the Rams recovered that. They're saying, hey, why couldn't my guys have recovered my fumble? I wouldn't be in the doghouse right now.
First down at the 44-yard line. 69 is Jordan Carroll in there. 7th-round pick out of Colorado. Whistle before the snap.
Delay game. Offense, number 14. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
They always blame it on the quarterback, Babe.
Well, I do blame the quarterback this time because he clearly was not looking at the play clock. You know, you always have it in front of you. Matter of fact, before the game starts, now guys like Peyton Manning, probably they've been in every stadium 58 times, but you always come out, you want to find where the play clocks are as a quarterback to know, okay, that's right in front of you the whole time. And man, you never saw it. It was a mistake on his part, and he's at his home field.
Yep, he has played here before. Wide open receiver on the right side. That's Cooper Kupp. Breaks a couple of tackles and gets down the sideline, and looks like enough for a first down.
And I walked the stands with Cooper Kupp's wife because I saw 3 Kupp jerseys, and I said, got to be family, right? I mean, he's a rookie.
I was wondering where you're going with this.
No. I just said, hey. I said, well, good luck to him. He seems like got a bright future ahead of him.
As a rookie, you always bring all the family.
Yeah,
you have to. You have to.
And you can wear their jersey because nobody hates them yet. It's only when you've been around a few years that.
And of course, this is the first preseason game for the Rams. This is the second for the Cowboys.
So you didn't figure those were like flying off the shelves at the Rams merchandising tent for your 3rd-round wide receiver, but maybe they will one day.
I mean, that's a second catch from Everett. I think he's going to do very well.
And DeMarcus is saying that because he's got that keen scout's eye view up here in the press box, but also because Gerald Everett is from South Alabama. Right?
Now you're talking.
42-yard line. And that's Pharaoh Cooper. But they need a pass-catching tight end, and Everett looks like he will provide that for
them. Look what Jordan Reed did at Washington. Also, now they got the offensive coordinator here, and I feel like he's one of those guys where, he can, step up and do the same thing.
And speaking of that, go ahead, babe.
No, Sean McVay was the offensive coordinator for the Redskins.
Exactly.
Play caller the last 2 years. He's 30 years old. But they haven't had that. Jeff Fisher was the head coach, defensive guy. Their offensive coordinator was an offensive lineman, and I think this is really going to help the Rams with McVay as their head coach.
Oh, it's a running room. Breaking free inside the 20-yard line. That's Justin Davis, who's accustomed to running on this field at USC. He's a rookie.
That looked a little bit like that Redskins offense, didn't it? One cut, the Shanahan deal. Take it up in, just zone blocking across the board. So who needs to get off the block there, DeMarcus? All of them? Or?
No, 74 needs to get off the block. He just got pinned by the guard, and it was just a big beat out there.
74 is Joey Ivy. Another loose football. A mad scramble for it inside the 5-yard line.
Okay, the Cowboys have to come up with one, don't they?
No, that's 5.
Oh, they did.
That's 5.
They finally got one.
That was 5. DeMarcus says that one was 5, and that was Justin Davis coughing it up, and the Cowboys at the 3-yard line have the recovery.
Well, that is crazy because this time they pin the Cowboys in, get to the outside edge there on the right side. I've never seen the ball come out so much.
Ball security. I believe Duke Thomas out of Texas got the recovery for the Cowboys, and it was a big one at the 3. 6:04 to play in the second quarter here in Los Angeles, and the Rams lead the Cowboys 7-3. After the turnover, Dallas takes over at its own 3-yard line. Kellen Moore still the quarterback. Alfred Morris, the running back, past the 5, gets positive yardage out to the 7 for a pickup of 4, bring up second down and 6. Alfred Morris looked good last week in the Hall of Fame game in Canton.
Another one of those really good guys in the backfield there. And that's the thing with Zeke Elliott back there. He's got 2 veteran guys that know how to go about their business. And all you have to really do is say, C46, C20, go where they go, do what they do. They go about things the right way.
Noah Brown in motion. 2 tight ends set. In motion, and there's a flag. Movement.
Ball start. Offense. Number 86. The penalty's half the distance to goal. Still second down.
That's a tight end, Connor Hemlett. So back it up a little bit.
Great shot of the Coliseum there. Of course, held the Olympics here in 1932.
And 1984. And they'll have it again here in 2028. Not much up the middle. Let's go down to Lindsey Draper on the sideline. Lindsey.
Yes, guys, as soon as Duke Thomas came off to the sideline, the first one to greet him was veteran Orlando Scandrick. And earlier in the game, when wide receiver Noah Brown had a great catch, the first to greet him was none other than Des Bryant. They're both embracing the veteran role, and they've been talking about each other all camp long. Hey, we're not going to like everything about the other person, but we've got to compete and set an example for these young guys.
All right, thanks, Lindsey. There's pretty good chemistry in that Cowboys team, and there's good leadership as well. Trying to convert a 3rd down here. And Noah Brown comes back for it and has enough for the 1st down.
Well, good job of Noah Brown there. It's a low throw from Kellen Moore as he works his way back up into the pocket, but he's not going to take a chance of trying to catch it with his hands down around his ankles. He said, I'm going to go down and get this football. He knows he's got the 1st down right here, so just go ahead, fall down, secure the football. Nice job by Noah Brown.
Sometimes it's as good as just make the play.
Yep.
Don't worry about trying to get an extra yard.
Noah Brown working on Troy Hill, the left cornerback for the Rams. Alfred Morris in trouble in the backfield and can't get away. It's a loss of a yard. The 2nd and 11. You look at Alfred Morris, and with the suspension of Ezekiel Elliott, right now it stands as a 6-game suspension. Prior to that, you looked at Morris, and he looked at his position on the team, that he was running for his NFL life, whether it's with the Cowboys or another team. But he can be a very valuable part of a tandem with Darren McFadden in the absence of Zeke, if Elliott indeed is going to miss a handful of games at least. 2nd down from the 16, and there's a whistle and a...
Kellen Moore wanted to get a timeout called here.
They got it.
Before the ball snap, timeout. Dallas. This is the first charge timeout.
I don't know if that was Jason Garrett who got the call timeout, but Kellen Moore goes up right here. He's right here. He wants a timeout.
Correction. This is a full timeout.
It is a full timeout. We'll take one, too, with 2:45 to play here in the 1st half. 7-3 Rams lead the Cowboys, and Dez just stays active all the time.
I love it. You know, he brings such leadership and charisma and energy to a practice. And Jason Garrett has given some veteran players off during the week, different guys. But so the one day, there you see Jason Witten, he was off, Dez was off, Sean Lee was off, and the practice just fell flat. They had a great practice the day before, but they're the guys that bring the energy.
2nd and 11, Kellen Moore, ball tipped and goes incomplete. You know, on days, though, when Dez has the day off, he just can't stand still.
No, he cannot stay still. I mean, playing with Dez, he would do push-ups, sit-ups on the sideline, and I'm looking at him like it's 108 degrees in Texas right now. What are you doing with some Skittles in his hand?
You know, and he gets with ball boys after practice. And he's playing catch with them. You know, Rich Beam in the scouting department, his 2 kids, he's out there playing catch with them. You know, it's just it's fun to watch Dez have fun on a football field. 3rd and long. Rico with some strong hands. He's short of the first down, but gathers with a reception. He had a big week last week in the Hall of Fame game, but he showed some strong hands there.
Ooh, I'll say, if you play that position, Marcus, too, you're going to be challenged for footballs. It's not like that outside wide receiver spot.
When you're playing tight end, you have to catch the ball. You're not going to get it thrown to you too many times. They make sure that they catch it.
Well, we talked about the strong hands of Tyron Smith. You can see Rico gathers there with those hands. I mean, that ball wasn't moving.
And
After the hit.
This is the 2-minute warning.
Rico playing special teams, too, as the Cowboys will punt the football away when we come back. 2 minutes left in the first half. Left here in the first half. The Rams lead the Cowboys 7-3. Jason Garrett, the coach of the year in the National Football League in 2016. Cowboys go 13-3.
By the way, after going 1-3 in the preseason last year.
There you go.
You know, there's always panic in the preseason when you're not. There was panic in Cleveland last year when they went 0-4, and that was for good reason, because then they lost their next 14 after that. But
Sam Irwin Hill, that one goes off the side of the foot, lands out of bounds at the 45-yard line or so. We'll see where they say it crossed the boundary. Looks like right up around midfield.
Gives up a little field position there. And on that last play, and there's Sam Irwin Hill there, going off a little disconsolate, you might say. But on the last play, Kellen Moore completes the ball on 3rd down. But the 4th completion on 3rd down where they haven't got the 1st down.
Play the Dallas Cowboys scratch ticket today for a chance to win big. On the 44-yard line. 2-minute offense for this Charles Tapper jumping early. He says he was drawn offsides, but the officials will not agree with Mr. Tapper.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense number 99. 5-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
That is one of the rules changes that I'd like. Might have been 10 years ago, might have been a little bit longer, but at one point you could get that offensive lineman to move by jumping into that neutral zone, and it would always be on the offense. But when you initiate that move by the offensive lineman.
DeMarcus, did you like that rule change?
I don't even know anything about being offsides.
Yeah, that's right.
I was never offsides.
You've seen film of other guys, though, haven't
Exactly,
you?
yeah.
1st and 5. Nice little move by Justin Davis to get the 1st down. And there's another flag down.
Justin Davis, who had that fumble down near the goal line, he's had a couple of them tonight. Had a hard time hanging on to the football.
Holding. Offense, number 72. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Still 1st down.
That's the left tackle, Pace Murphy.
I wonder why I can see the holding call so well.
That's right. Charles Tapper. He had Charles Tapper by the shoulder pads.
Tapper was pointing at Murphy earlier saying he moved. Now they're even, right? Tapper got the penalty. Murphy got a penalty.
It's a little bit of the gain for Justin Davis, who goes downfield, and it's going to be 1st and about 13. 1st and 12. Oh, back in the backfield. That's DeMonte Moore out of Texas A&M and Rowlett High School.
That was a heck of a hit, DeMarcus.
I mean, he penetrated the line just so well and just made a sure tackle. That's what you want from the guys in the interior to make those tackles for a loss like that.
And you worked with DeMonte a little bit, didn't you not?
I worked with him. I did a lot of a pass rush camp with him. And he was very, very quick off the ball. One of those guys to where you know he had a knack for the ball, but he just has to put some of that in his toolbox and carry it into the season.
All right, DeMarcus, explain this to me now. We got Taco Charlton over there at right end. When you pass rush in this situation, you know they're going to throw the ball. Do you wait to react to the offensive tackle's move, or do you say, I'm going to come in with this move, like a baseball hitter looking for his fastball?
I already know what move I'm going to do.
Okay, you got your game
get up there, and I assist the tackle, seeing if he's going to overset me, is he's going to lateral set, is he going to block down, and just key on him. I know what I'm going to do, and then I'll react off what he does.
So you come in there with an idea that this is what I'm going to try.
I come in with an idea.
Okay.
Speed rush, pass rush, spin, it doesn't matter.
It'll be 30 seconds.
And you get that idea from preparation, film
From
work,
preparation, knowing. I already know exactly if he's going to overset me, if he looks down two or
when you
three
say
times.
overset, you mean the guy running out, going
if he
outside.
oversets, making sure almost like he's going to run block me.
Yeah.
I'm going to go underneath. If he ends up vertical setting, meaning if he goes straight back, I'm going to set him up, meaning give him a jab step to make him stop his feet so I can beat him around the corner and make the guy do what I want him to do instead of, letting him dictate the game.
And you keep talking about having that toolbox. How big was the toolbox as a rookie? And then did you have to ask Santa for a bigger one as you progressed in your career?
I think by my 12th year, it was spewing over. So I had to ask for one.
He had a tool shed by the end.
Exactly.
Third down. 36 seconds left in the half. Mannion throws complete and out of bounds. That's his tight end, Gerald Everett.
Nice throw by Sean Mannion. They took him.
Offense, number 42. 10-yard penalty. Replay. Third down.
Well, Pace Murphy had a holding call on a Justin Davis run, and now Justin Davis commits a holding penalty on a first down completion.
Justin Davis, again, played here at USC. He's a rookie free agent, and he's having a little bit of a rough day. Had the fumble earlier. Had another fumble that they recovered, and this one gets called back. But getting back to Mannion, so they took him in the third round a few years ago. I liked him coming out of Oregon State. Obviously, they didn't like him well enough to not draft Jared Goff last year with the first pick in the draft.
On the draw play, there's some running room up near midfield. Justin Davis.
Jason Garrett rushes out, gets a timeout called.
These Cowboys will get an opportunity here as it's fourth down.
Second charge timeout. Dallas. This will be a 30-second timeout.
With 23 seconds left in the half.
I don't know how much time Kellen Moore is going to have to work with here. Not a lot. Probably be a situation where they just want to make the Rams punt the football.
Or even try to get a field goal.
Short amount of time to march it down. But
these are situations they work on basically a daily basis in training camp. Situations like this to try to say you could take over at your own 15, 20-yard line and get downfield and get in field goal range in precious few seconds. So
come after the punter here.
There's a flag in the backfield, and that one goes off side of the foot. Out of bounds. It's a Pro Bowl punter in Johnny Hecker.
That was not his best effort. Goal starts our referee there, the white hat. He's going to sort this out and figure out what's like illegal shift is what he's motioning against the Rams. Now, do you have him punt it again, or do you take the football?
You want to know?
Illegal motion. Offense. Number 86. That penalty will be tacked on to the end of the punt. First down, Dallas.
So that helps the field position, tacking it on, and that was. Cowboys will have some fairly decent field position to work with to try to get into field goal range here.
Take it to the 35, but you've only got 16 seconds left here. Is this victory formation time, or you try to get yourself...
Maybe you can get 2 good plays.
Yeah, you got a timeout. If you can pick up about 15 yards here, get it to the 50, you can take a throw into the end zone at that point. You do have a timeout, though, so you can complete it over the middle or in the field of play, get your timeout called, and then figure out what you want to do from there. That's probably what they'll do here.
Short. Alfred Morris eludes one man, eludes a second man, and the clock down to 8 seconds left after the 43.
I know they were.
Third and final charge timeout. Dallas is a 30-second timeout.
Well, they would have liked to got a little more out of that one than dumping it off. Brings up a 2nd and 1, but obviously that's not the issue. You've got 8 seconds left and you've got no timeout, so any completion here has to be to the sideline. You won't have time to get it caught and clocked.
So
I'm going to suggest that after 40 years in the NFL, DeMarcus Wade Phillips knows that too. He's going to hug the sideline with his defenders, huh?
Oh, he's going to hug the sideline. He usually probably put a victory defense in there to make sure they stay in bounds.
Wow, they're giving him, it appears like they're giving him the quick out here if the Cowboys want it. That surprises me.
Get rid of it quickly here. Downfield, but out of bounds. And down to 1 second left.
Honestly, I think right here, I just kneel it down and don't have anything bad happen.
You remember that game in Washington a few years ago?
Oh, yes. As my good friend Henry Schroeder would tell you, do not invite disaster. Okay, so right now, you've got nothing to gain. You've got a second left. Looks like they're going to do something with it, but
nope.
Oh,
they're going to take a knee.
Thank you.
They're going to take a knee.
That's a smart play right here.
So we are through 1/2 of play. 7-3, the Rams lead the Cowboys as Kellen Moore and the Cowboys go off the field. We'll see a lot of the rookie Cooper Rush to start the second half. Let's go down to the field and Lindsey Draper.
Coach, Taco Charlton with his first preseason sack tonight. What kind of improvements has he made in tonight's game?
Well, it's hard to tell right now, but it looked like he's making some strides. We're around the ball a lot on defense. We've knocked it out 4 or 5 times. We finally got that turnover down when they got down into the red zone. So we got to do a better job taking advantage of some of those plays when we make them.
Offense struggling to convert on 3rd down. What do you want to see in the second half out of your young guys?
Yeah, we just got to start moving the ball more. And, you know, it's something here, it's something there. We got to run the ball more consistently and obviously convert the 3rd downs.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks.
And the Jason Garrett interview brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. Visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams, the official paint supplier of the Dallas Cowboys. Halftime here at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. The Rams lead the Cowboys 7-3. Let's take a look at the first half stats with the torch burning brightly in the background. The Rams have 67 rushing yards, the Cowboys 32. Passing yards, they lead as well. So that means they lead in total yards. Turnovers.
You did all that math by yourself.
That's right. It's the Oklahoma education.
There we go.
And they lead in time of possession, and they lead in penalties as well. And they lead on the scoreboard 7-3.
Well, the big thing there was they just could not convert on 3rd downs. You don't keep possessions. You don't keep time of possession. You end up not getting to your offense, really. And again, Kellen Moore had 4 completions, Bill, on 3rd down that did not go for 1st downs. So a lot of it becomes down in distance. It became a little prohibitive there. They had some penalties. We heard Jason Garrett talking about we didn't run the ball real well, but we didn't throw the ball real well either.
I'm just mesmerized by the torch burning there.
Yeah. The Olympic flame.
Yep. The Olympics. The Olympics are what, 2028?
2028 at news came down here in the last couple of weeks. Of course, they had it here in 1984, 1932.
What if I told you, Bill Jones, that during a press conference you asked Jason Garrett, you know the Olympics are coming to that stadium in 2028? What would he say? Yeah, I'm just worried about this afternoon.
We're worried about this. That's right.
Right?
And the kick goes beyond Duke Thomas in the back of the end zone. And the Cowboys will start at their own 25-yard line with a rookie quarterback coming into the game, Cooper Rush.
Cooper Rush, who, by the way, you know that he did not go to Michigan, right?
That's right.
He went to Central Michigan. You know how you know that? Because I talked to him earlier in the week, DeMarcus, and he said he was really excited because he's seen all those Rose Bowls played there. And I said, no, that would be the Rose Bowl. You will be in the Coliseum. They play the Rose Bowl in the Rose Bowl. You just want to play well, no matter what the stadium, right? But I was laughing. I didn't even tell him. I said, well, it's not really the Rose Bowl.
That's the granddaddy of them all, the Rose Bowl. And I believe they call the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum the Grand Old Lady or something like that. I'm sure someone will tweet and
well,
say,
hopefully your wife Stacy just didn't tune in at that moment to hear the Grand Old Lady. You have recorded this, haven't you? So you can play back and say that I was taken out of context, Stacy.
She was supposed to be recorded.
Oh, sounds like we may not get the job done.
And breaking a tackle and going forward for a first down is Blake Jarwin, the former Oklahoma State Cowboy rookie.
Got himself a catch last week in Arizona, or excuse me, against Arizona at the Hall of Fame game. Cooper Rush handled himself very well, I thought, last week. And when I went to the people that know more than I know, who are his coaches, they all felt like he really did a good job of just handling the offense, threw the touchdown on a zero blitz, an all-out blitz.
And there's Rico Gathers. A short pickup. Cooper Rush was a 4-year starter at Central Michigan. 6'3", 228 pounds, and grew up in Lansing, Michigan.
Marcus, we're looking at Rico Gathers there. When you see him, this is a guy that hasn't played since the 8th grade. You think what?
Not experienced. Until you see him actually catching, 2 balls tonight and creating so much mismatch out there towards the linebacker.
He's a huge man. Plays a little bit high, as you might suspect, because he's been playing basketball.
Alfred Morris trying to muscle his way forward, gets a couple of yards, and of course he had a touchdown grab. Rico Gathers did in the Hall of Fame game a week ago Thursday. There was some talk after that game from people saying, well, you think maybe now Rico Gathers has secured a spot on this 53-man roster? And I think all along the Cowboys have said, hey, he's got a spot on this roster.
And he has the opportunity to develop. He's one of those guys where he was 6'6", 290 pounds, and you get all of that athleticism bottled up into a tight end. That's when you have a playmaker.
Third down. A short pass. And reaching forward, looks like he's got the first down, or is he's right on the stake, depends on where they put it. BZ Wachiku out of Allen High School in Texas A&M. It's right on it, but it looks like.
And Wachiku was the one who got that touchdown last week from Cooper Rush. Yeah, we'll see it again here. And he's short.
Yep.
They marked it properly. Not if you're a Cowboys fan, they didn't, but you're objectively watching the football game. They marked it properly.
So Sam Irwin-Hill on the punt again. Fair catch called for at the 15-yard line by Shakir Ryan. And the Rams go on offense for the first time in the third quarter when we come back to the Coliseum. The Grand Old Lady. 97 Taco Charlton. Bank of America, the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys. Taco Charlton got a sack in the first half. You look at his career numbers at the University of Michigan. Sort of a late bloomer at Michigan and really came on strong in his final season there. 19 sacks in 33 games there. His last season there, he's really solidified himself as a first-round prospect. Rams on offense. That's Justin Davis breaking free.
So what happens here, DeMarcus?
It looked like one of the guys actually just lost containment. I seen on the left of the tackle what the guard did. He got a lot of push and created a big D gap. And so there was no room for the guy on the outside, meaning the defensive end, to contain. So once he got in the B gap, he had a long, wide lane, and he just had a lot of running room.
Then Xavier Woods, number 25 there, he was the safety, and he got juked a little bit. That gave up the big run.
32 yards on the carry for Justin Davis. And now past midfield to the 47-yard line.
One thing that you talk about safeties, the whole thing is, can you get them to the ground? And Barry Church was that guy. I always felt like he was a really good tackler.
A sure tackler.
Yeah, just a sure. Didn't make the dynamic plays. Wasn't an Ed Reed going over and getting balls and interceptions and all that. But boy, one of the reasons the Cowboys led the NFL in rush defense last year was they didn't give up big runs. And in large part, that was due to Barry Church being a sure tackler.
And a leader on this defense as well, yeah. Barry Church. Penetration from 74, Joey Ivey.
And see, that's one thing that with Marinelli, with the defensive line, they want to get a lot of penetration that you can get tackles for a loss. They want the defensive line to make the tackles, not just the linebackers.
I wonder if Joey Ivey realizes he's not going to keep that number if he makes the team.
Why won't he keep 74? Well, why will not he?
There's only been one.
There's not one 74 defensive lineman in the league. Can you name one?
Well, I can name one from the Cowboys' past and why Joey Ivey is not going to wear number 74 in a regular season game, and that is because of Mr. Cowboy Bob Lilly. Short of the first down and brought down by that man, Xavier Woods.
And I know DeMarcus Ware thinks I'm old, but he only calls me 50. I call him 30. But we see another replay here. But coming back on it, I was up in Canton riding along with Calvin Hill, and we were just discussing some different things and older players, guys that I really didn't get a chance to see, guys who I know are great players. But he said the best player he ever saw was Bob Lilly. Not that he played with, that he ever saw. Bob Lilly.
And that's the reason why.
That's nobody's wearing 74.
Yep.
Pretty good reason.
First guy in the Ring of Honor, and of course played from early 60s through the mid 70s with the Cowboys. In the Pro Football Hall of Fame. At TCU. McRoberts on the receiving end and moving the chains of the Rams.
Yeah, moving the chains on fourth down. That's how you know it's a preseason game, DeMarcus. Don't think they would have gone for it on 4th and 3 in the regular season. Good throw by Mannion.
35 is Kayvon Frazier. And from the 32, nothing there.
Grade 2 up in Canton. Again, having that same conversation with Calvin Hill. And I was kind of a Kansas City fan, Chiefs fan, as a little kid. I just loved the way they huddled. Lenny Dawson would face one way. That remember that huddle? Anyway, I was talking about their defense, how great they were. Buck Buchanan. I said, I love Willie Lanier. The next night, who am I talking to? At the Pro Football Hall of Fame, Willie Lanier.
Wow.
So great seeing all these guys in gold jackets.
And that's what a lot of the Cowboy players were talking about when they came back to Oxnard. What a great experience it was. Just seeing all those Hall of Famers, whether former Cowboys or otherwise.
Jason Witten comes up to me at Jerry Jones' party as we're watching Justin Timberlake. And he said, hey, Pat. And you could just see bright-eyed. He said, I feel like a kid in a candy store because all these Hall of Famers are in there. I said, well, you're going to be in the candy store one day, as will the guy sitting to my right here, DeMarcus Ware.
It's just an awesome opportunity to go to the Hall of Fame and just see so many guys. There's only, 300 and something guys
310,
in the Hall of Fame?
310,
and it's just amazing.
You think about that at all, though? that you are going to be there, just so you know.
I've never thought about it.
Really?
Until that jacket touches my shoulders. That's when it probably would hit.
Like the Stanley Cup.
Exactly.
You can't touch it till you win it.
Exactly.
A lot of running room for Mannion. He will slide short of the first down, 2 yards short. It's 4th and 2.
That's one thing you do not want to see when you are a pass rusher is the quarterback going the opposite way.
Well, and they teach you, do they not, to not get too far behind that quarterback?
Yeah,
he always talks about collapsing the pocket, not running up and giving him a
they want
lane.
you to collapse the pocket, have good lane integrity, but every once in a while the quarterback, figures out some way to squiggle through there.
Is there a particular quarterback who was more squiggly than others?
Michael Vick, Andrew Luck, those guys, I'm telling you, they are so hard to take down.
Greg Zuerlein. The attempt, 42 yards, and it is good. And the Rams expand their lead with 6:46 to play in the third. 10-3, Los Angeles over Dallas here this preseason. Showing what he can do on the football field. You got Bill Jones, Babe Laufenberg, and DeMarcus Wares. Easy Wachiku, who's one of the 2 Cowboys back standing in the end zone. And from 5 yards deep, Lance Lenore, and he can't get to the 20-yard line. Cowboys will take over with some real estate to cover. And now we go down to the sidelines, and I'm told this is brought to you by Papa John's. We've got Nate Newton, the 6-time Pro Bowl offensive lineman for your Dallas Cowboys. Been observing things on the sideline. How you doing, Nate?
I'm doing great, fellas. How y'all doing up there? Y'all sounding fantastic. Yes.
How about DeMarcus Ware up here in the broadcast booth,
Oh,
Nate?
man, he's doing a super job, man. I'm liking how you're pronouncing those big words, brother.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Boy, you're special.
We got some Pro Bowlers here. 6 for Nate, 9 for DeMarcus in his career, 7 of them with the Cowboys. Cooper Rush down the right side to Wachiku. And to the 42-yard line, first down. Some life. That's actually Brian Brown on the receiving end. Got 16 and 18 mixed up. Brian Brown on the receiving end. Nate, what are you seeing out of those offensive linemen tonight?
They've been a little bit inconsistent there, Bill. They need to kind of clean it up. That way you can give your quarterback enough time to make some deals. Something happened. Cooper Rush threw a nice pass right there. That dude is cooler than a mountain stream. And I'm looking at Cleary, and I'm looking at Byron Bell. These guys need a little bit more work, but they need his reps. And I'm glad this is the first preseason game because these guys are potential depth players, and we need them to play well. Now they have number 64, Jonathan Cooper, in. He was pushing hard for that left guard, but when Chaz Green went down, the new competition started between him and Bell.
And penalty on the play. We'll back up the Rod Smith run, negated by the penalty.
Don't need that, fellas. Don't need that.
Jonathan Cooper has seen some time at center, number 64, and also at guard. He's a former first-round draft pick of the Arizona Cardinals. The competition for Ron Leary's old spot at left guard is a big one, and Ronald Leary now with the Denver Broncos, and Byron Bell is getting the shot right now, or getting the shot to start this game, but right now Jonathan Cooper is in there at left guard, number 64. And the pass complete to Rico Gathers. What do you think of Rico Gathers, Nate?
That's a smooth dude, man. You know what? I do some studying on him every day now. What he needs to do is, you can see him catch these big passes, but he needs to settle himself down, be a better run blocker, know his assignments a little bit better. That's kind of slowing down his progress. I hear DeMarcus talking about his development. He's got to get calm. It ain't like he posting folks up and slamming on them. You got to start thinking a little bit.
Andy Jones takes a big hit short of the first down.
Now that's a battle between Andy Jones and Noah Brown. That is going to be a battle, man. These guys, not talking about practice squad fellas, they talking about being a part of this team. They talking about being one of those main wide receivers. So keep that in mind. Those guys are running good routes and catching the ball. And Andy has made a big jump from last year, because the lights was a little bit too big. He come from a small school. Me and DeMarcus know about that. In small school, Florida A&M and Troy State.
And he's from Jacksonville.
Yes, he is.
Third down. Cowboys have not converted a lot on third down tonight. Empty backfield. Cooper Rush has his man. Breaking free and losing the football.
Noah Brown did everything but hold on to the ball at the end. He made a nice catch, a nice move to get open on the slant.
And that's one thing. You got to be able to close those plays out. If you're making big yaks like that, you have to be able to not make big plays.
If you want Jason Garrett on your side, do not put that ball on the ground.
Well, we've seen it come out without contact right here. It just comes out of his hand there.
Man,
doesn't get shook loose.
And one thing about it, it's an equal opportunity offender. Like the Rams can't hold on, or neither can the Cowboys.
A lot of fumbles tonight. Noah Brown, the 7th-round draft pick out of Ohio State. He's just 21 years old and really only played one full season at Ohio State. Scored 4 touchdowns against Oklahoma last year. Rod Smith, Jalen Smith's brother, Rod Smith.
I tell you what, man, he found him. He hit up in there a nice crease last week when he was in with the second and third and fourth team, as you may. This guy can find creases. He's lost a little bit of weight. We can either use him at fullback or we can use him at running back. And boy, he hit something there with a lot of strength and power.
Yeah, Nate, like he said, he lost about 13 pounds this past week to go back and play running back. And I said, well, you better hope they don't move you back to fullback, because now you're going to have to put 13 back on.
That's right.
He said it's easier to put it on than to take it off. I think we all know that. Cooper Rush, 7 out of 7 too, Bill.
Wow. Going for the end zone and has his man. Rico gathers again.
Let's make that 8 of 8.
Hey, Bill, can you say that again? Because that show sounded good.
Rico gathers again.
Thank you. That boy's athlete, DeMarcus.
Hey, let me tell you what. That guy is 6'6", 290 pounds. I mean, he's a beast. And he's not dropping any balls either.
No.
That's one thing he's not doing. Just like you said earlier, if he can learn how to have that tenacity and just throw guys on the ground when it's in blocking situations, he can be that all-around player. He got Jason Witten to learn from.
Yes, he does.
And I'm going to perfect the call. Rico gathers one in again. Enrico, by the way, he says, had he gone into the NBA, of course, he would be an all-NBA power forward. That's the modesty that Rico Gathers has. 10-10, the Cowboys and the Rams. This game is brought to you by AT&T, mobilizing your world. 82 yards in 6 plays. The Ford scoring drive capped by the Rico Gathers 25-yard touchdown reception, his 2nd touchdown catch of this preseason. And Cooper Rush, 8 for 8, Cooper Rush.
Yeah, how about that? Great throw there, too, to Rico Gathers.
And the Rams on the return. That's K.D. Cannon, the former Baylor Bear, getting an opportunity, but not much of one, thanks to Duke Thomas, the Texas Longhorn, on the stop.
And that last touchdown through here by Gathers, you see him up top of the screen, going right down the middle, little out move, and a perfect throw. Linebacker never gets his head turned.
And one thing you see, he has like deceptive speed.
Cooper Rush too. He's happy.
Oh man,
he's excited.
He's doing really well.
Just gave a little head nod on the out move there. Took it right up the seam, and Cooper Rush, great timing too. Got that ball up early.
Mannion under pressure, and he goes down. Dallas defense comes up with the sack. That's Lenny Jones. Kayvon Frazier was coming on a blitz.
And that's one thing you want to do actually when they do play action. When they play action like this, and you're able to know, especially from a tackle view over sessions, you can beat him around the corner and make a big play on first down. And now it's 2nd and 15, and they have to have, It's not an easier way to try to score.
And what tells you play action? The line or the back or the quarterback? What are you seeing?
I usually look at the running back and the tackle and seeing what type of stance he has.
And kind of read through it?
And read through it, all the way through from tackle to the fullback.
That was Lenny Jones with the sack, and nothing there. Kayvon Frazier very active. Leon McFadden, number 23, comes up.
All right, here comes your pass rush to Marcus.
So
3rd and 11, pin the ears back.
Big plays like this on first down creates 3rd and 10s.
You got 99 Charles Tapper at right defensive end. Lenny Jones, 56, who had the other sack. He's on the left side. Cowboys showing blitz with the linebackers in the middle. They'll drop back. 4-man rush. Mannion under pressure. Finds his man. Tamarick Hemingway. The ball comes out. Kayvon Frazier has it. And Kayvon Frazier with some running room. Down at the 20-yard line.
All right, I think, Bill, this is going to be similar to what I thought might happen when the Cowboys punched the ball out, when the Rams scored. Did he have possession of the football? Right. You know, did he make a football move? So we'll get another look at it here. You judge for yourself at home. Did he have this ball long enough to say he possessed the football?
But you can also see the pressure from DeMontre Moore, too.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Sixth fumble. Sixth.
Well, I would say if the Robert Woods play that resulted in a touchdown for the Rams was a catch, then that was a catch. And of course, a change of possession, you review all change of possession.
And Sean McVay, the Rams head coach, there you see him, he's down on the sideline saying, hey, we are going to take another look at this, aren't we, fellas?
The previous play is under review.
And again, this is a booth review, change of possession, as we probably all know by now. Don't need to throw the challenge flag. They're going to review it from the booth and say, hey, we need to take another look at this. And we'll take another look as well and see just what the heck happened after this break.
Yep, that's right. 41 seconds left in the third quarter, 10-10 game. All of a sudden, some highlights from this one. 10-10, Rams and the Cowboys. As the booth review has taken place.
Yeah, that's going to get overturned.
After review, the ball became loose before the receiver established himself as a runner. Therefore, it is an incomplete pass. It'll be 4th down and 11 at the 9-yard line.
How about the Cowboy fans here reacting to that?
Yeah, they are outnumbering the Rams fans. And Jason Garrett not happy, but that was
there was a bobble. It looked like
that was a correct call. Yeah, he never had possession of it. Tamarick Hemingway is coming across the middle there, and he gets drilled, but he never has it possessed. So it's an incompletion.
And the punt down to the 40-yard line. New process on the reviews this year. Take a look.
You say, which one's the right, which one's the left here? It's Greg Rolstead, our referee. Yeah, so they're looking at the Microsoft tablet now on the field. Remember, they used to go up underneath the hood.
So I believe the ruling there on Hemingway, as you pointed out, Babe, is that he doesn't have possession of it because he's bobbling it right there. Different from the Robert Woods one before where he did have possession.
Right. It's a good call. Jason Garrett didn't like it, but when he looks at it again, when they review the film, they say, okay, I see what they saw.
Essentially, the Cowboys lost 40 yards in field position here. And the pass goes incomplete. The first incompletion of the night for Cooper Rush as Rod Smith can't come up with it.
You know, sitting up here, it looks like, hey, how did he drop that ball? That's an easy catch. But sometimes when you're in all that traffic, all of a sudden the ball just comes out of helmets. You don't see, Rod Smith may not have seen the ball actually leave Cooper Rush's hand there. You're just looking back, and all of a sudden the ball appears like it got shot out of an ear hole of a helmet or something. Now, he was upset he didn't catch it, but I always say easy to play from 200 feet in the air, Bill.
And to the outside, Rod Smith. And DeMarcus Ware is getting that experience for the first time since he retired.
How do you like the booth?
Oh, the booth is awesome. I mean, looking at it from, 200 feet in the air is a lot different than being out there on the field and playing. I can tell you that.
Can I just say this, DeMarcus? You will find that you're right a heck of a lot more from this booth than you are when you're on the field. Okay? You make better play calls.
You can see everything. It's called the God's eye. The God's eye.
Yes. It was funny early in this game. DeMarcus, during one of the breaks, was marveling at us. I know all the plays before they're run sitting up here. I can see it.
When you're down on the field, you have to assess it a different way.
And that will be the end of the third quarter of play as the clock ticks down. A 10-10 game going to the fourth quarter here at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum.
What do we have here?
The Santa Monica Pier as we bring you Dallas Cowboys football. Your ticket for a chance to win big, the Texas Lottery. We start the fourth quarter. Bill Jones with Babe Laufenberg and DeMarcus Ware. As Cooper Rush, near perfect tonight, came on in the third quarter, completed the first 8 passes he attempted, including a touchdown to Rico Gathers. And looking to throw to Gathers again there. Rico can't hold on this time.
Ball down a little bit low. Cooper Rush has been good tonight. It's just harder for a big man to get down, catch that ball down at the knees there. Yeah. Cole Beasley, Ryan Switzer, 5'8". They just snatch that ball like it's nothing. But
he does have long arms, so he should be able to get down and catch it.
he's used to grabbing balls 10, 12 feet in the air off the basket on rebounds, not down there 6 inches off the ground.
3rd and 20. Dumps it off to Smith.
That was a mess.
Yep, not much there.
There was a lot of guys out there. There was a lot of guys.
Cooper Rush threw that ball. I said, boy, I hope one of my guys gets it.
How tough is it to design and run a screenplay? You know, back in the day, Tony Dorsett was the king of it with the Cowboys, but they ran the screen so well.
Well, it's a great question because you can only do so much in practice, and I know people think you're there all day, but you can't be a good screen team, rollout team, draw team. You know, you kind of, Green Bay was always a great screen team with Holmgren, you know, and as you said, Tony Dorsett, Coach Landry. But unless you work on it a lot, screen plays are not as easy as they look.
Fair catch called for by Rush at the 28-yard line. There is a flag down.
Just takes a lot of timing, too, with your offensive line. You got to have those kind of players, too, mobile players. I don't even know if that team of the 90s had a screen pass.
During the kick, holding. Receiving team number 46. That's a 10-yard penalty added to the end of the kick. It'll be first down.
I mean, going through these preseason games, I used to love to just sit back and watch what the other players did because I knew that if one starter went down or they had an opportunity to get out there and just show, you know, what they like to do, it was just great. That's what builds team camaraderie. Not just the starters that are out there, the other guys that also build the team.
What I really love is we see Jason Garrett not looking too pleased with the way things are going here, but the veteran players they cheer on those young guys, and I know Dak Prescott this past week said, when Cooper Rush was out there, I was more nervous for him than I was when I'm playing myself. So you're in that group, you want the guys to do well.
Well, and Dak went on to say that he's really grown to really like Cooper Rush a lot. And so that's why he was rooting for him so much, that he wanted to see him do well.
I wonder if Cooper Rush says, boy, I hope Dak does well whenever he gets a chance to play here. There's Dak Prescott. Got the ball cap on. Looking good. He looks good in the uniform, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Ready to play.
Of course, it was a year ago right here. He threw 2 touchdown passes, one to Dez and one to Terrence Williams. Started that game after Kellen Moore got hurt in practice, and the rest, as they say, is history. Had it down. That's Lenny Jones again.
And that's awesome. When you get a defensive end, defensive lineman guy that can bat balls down, play with a lot of athleticism, especially in the bootleg. Usually they'll try to draw you in on any type of run play, but he actually didn't have any bite on it. He was able to knock that ball down.
Lenny Jones out of Nevada. He was last year was with the Niners, the Raiders, the Rams, and then finally on the Cowboys practice squad.
He loves California.
From San Leandro, California.
There you go. Made the tour.
Mannion bought some time and found his man to the 31-yard line, and that is Nelson Spruce. You know, I spent this week at training camp, and DeMarcus, it was a big day for your family. We're surprising you right here. The first day of school. And looky here. Babe, you are at USC where your son, Joe Willie, is now coaching on the USC staff, and there is Tyron Smith right there.
Tyron Smith, he's
got to be proud of your kids. I was so glad to see them go to school.
I was happy to see mine get out.
I love following DeMarcus and Babe on Twitter or Instagram, and you post some great pictures on there, DeMarcus.
You know what? I just try to shed a little light on my life sometimes. It's not too interesting, but I have a little fun.
I wouldn't say that. You're talking to two old guys, too, here, by the way, DeMarcus, okay?
That video that you posted a month or so ago of a camel eating
out of the car,
out of your car, that was amazing. You got to go to DeMarcus Twitter or Instagram, social media, to go check it out. That was something.
It is funny, and I did tell my son, Bill, I said, you recruit a few guys like Tyron Smith and you'll keep your job. Mannion with a good hit here, and almost a little bit of a late hit at the end of this.
They did not throw a flag.
Might want to pull up right there.
One thing you have to watch, they'll throw the flag, especially when they get close to the sideline and have shoves like that.
Third down. Sean Mannion, the quarterback for the Rams. And right at the sticks, that's Nelson Spruce again.
Nelson Spruce left Colorado as the Pac-12's all-time leading receiver. The record's since been broken, but good possession receiver for Mike McIntyre's Colorado Buffaloes.
I mean, on those third downs like earlier, you have to be able to get pressure on the quarterback. You have to. I understand that it's 4th and 1 right now, but right now is the time where you rely on the defensive line to corral and push the pocket to get pressure on the quarterback for just short passes.
There's Nelson Spruce out of Westlake Village, California.
Had a big day against the Cowboys in this preseason game last year. Scored a touchdown. Lance Lenore, who did not have a big day early in this game with the muffed punt, that ball came right to him on the bounce, and he was able to field it cleanly, and the Cowboys will take over at the 20-yard line. I wonder, looking back at DeMarcus Ware's career, who he sacked first in his career. The answer next. All right, we asked the trivia question. DeMarcus Ware's first career sack was September 5th, 2005 at San Francisco. Who was it against? Who was the quarterback? I wonder who it was. DeMarcus, do you remember this?
You always remember your first sack.
And he actually did remember. He knew this.
Yes, he did.
Earlier in the week.
Tim Rattay. Now let's go down as Roddy Hillman on the carry. Let's go down to the sideline and Lindsey Draper.
Okay, Des Bryant down here. You've been doing push-ups. You've been running up and down the sidelines. Are you restless in these games?
You know, I'm just excited. And first off, I'm excited to put this uniform back on, and you know, I'm kind of bothered that we're not playing. I'm trying to keep myself active the best way I possibly can. You know, I'm enjoying it.
Des, how do you capitalize on really helping these rookies? You're the first one to greet them when they come off the field. Do you really coach them up during these games?
Oh yeah, of course. You know, I want to motivate them. I'm sorry, I have to check that out. I love motivating them. You know, they're my guys. You know, and I want them to come out here and perform the best of their abilities because I know that they can. I see them do it in practice each and every day. this showtime. When you're out here between these lines, you got to give it your all. And you see some of these guys out here doing that.
I trust your judgment on receivers. Tell me what you're seeing out of Rico Gathers.
Oh man, I love Rico Gathers. He's the great in the making. Coach is going to continue to keep on working with him. He got wit to watch. He got a Hall of Famer to watch. He got a great cast, surrounding him. Rico can be super great.
Des, I talked to Derek Dooley earlier this week, and he said, this is the deepest group of wide receivers I've had since I've been here, and a lot of that is because of you, Cole Beasley, and Terrence Williams' leadership. Why do you guys have such a strong bond?
Because we have our own identity, and on top of that, we created our own identity, and we enjoy it, we have fun, and we real with one another. We like to see each other succeed. I think that's the best part about our receiver group. It don't have nothing to do with talent. That's who we are. It's how we treat one another. And I think that's the cool part. And these rookies probably expecting to get hazed. They probably thinking we're gonna make them do stuff and all that type of stuff. But that's not what we're about here. We want guys to come in playing the best of their abilities. That's what we're gonna do. That's what we want to show. That's what we create. We go out there and practice hard each and every day, and we want these guys to see. It's once in a lifetime opportunity.
88, have a great season. Thank you.
Thank you.
Back to you, Bill.
Des Bryant could go on and on talking about it. And we will continue in a moment from LA. Memorial Coliseum, built in 1923 at a cost of $954,000. The capacity is 93,607. Been as much as 103,000 for football. And the tenants through the years, you see on your screen there, 3 Olympiads here when it comes back in 2028. Tamarick Hemingway, who was involved in that reviewed play that resulted in an incomplete pass a little bit earlier. On that previous possession for the Cowboys, while Dez was being interviewed by Lindsay on the sideline, Luke McCown was in at quarterback, number 3 for the Cowboys, and it was Clay DeBoard who fell on the football on that fumble, and it did go as a fumble. Luke McCown, 14-year veteran in this league out of Jacksonville, Texas. Sean Mannion still in there at quarterback for the Rams. It's close to a first down.
Yeah, a lot of dump-offs from Mannion in this game, but he's 17 to 22. One thing the Rams wanted to do, and it's one of the big reasons why they traded for Sammy Watkins yesterday, they want to get the ball down the field. One of the worst teams in the NFL, well, let me rephrase that, the worst team in the NFL last year in terms of plays, 10-plus yards, the worst team in the NFL in 2015. 10-plus plays. So Sean McVay, the new head coach, says we got to get some explosive plays in there.
32nd in the league in passing yards, 32nd in the league in total yards.
Third downs? 32nd.
32nd.
Yeah, they've just been awful.
Good for the first and 10.
Funny, they've been very bad for a very long time. There's Sean McVay. Matter of fact, the youngest coach in NFL history.
31 years old now.
30.
He was 30 when he was hired in January, but
young.
he's now 31. He turned 31 in late January.
He's an old man. Actually became the youngest head coach in the modern era. Lane Kiffin held that distinction at 31. But I don't know how you 30. I barely wore clean underwear at that time. This guy's a head coach. Actually, I've got a confession to make to the two of you. Not wearing clean underwear? No, not 30, yeah, but 30 years old, and like you said, Bill, turned 31, but you've got all this on you.
That's a big responsibility.
Oh, of course, he's got it in his genes, though. Sean McVay is his grandfather. John McVay was with the 49ers, those 5 in the front office, those 5 Super Bowl winning seasons, team with Bill Walsh there. Was a head coach in the league as well with the New York Giants. And in the World Football League, the Memphis Southmen as well. 2nd and 10 from the 23. McRoberts, it was on him in a hurry.
Yep. Got to make that catch. What do you think about the white and blue helmets of the Rams, though, DeMarcus? That's a throwback
that's
look.
old school.
It is.
I
I love
love that,
it.
right?
Well, I grew up here in Los Angeles, and that's what the Rams look like. Now, they didn't have the gold on the uniform, but that Rams horn, the white and blue.
I like it. I do too. It's nice.
You're going to wear it throughout the year. Is that correct?
They are. In the offseason, they announced that's their new helmets, at least for now, until they move into the new stadium. And the gold trim on the jerseys, a St. Louis era accent, gold accent there. It's a tribute to their time in St. Louis, and I'm sure the fans in St. Louis really appreciate that.
Yeah. Thanks, but no thanks. Manny with another solid ball here, and I really liked him again coming out. I actually talked to Jason Garrett about him, and I said, hey, this is one guy that I've looked at that I like, and he thought so much of my opinion they didn't draft him. But the Rams did in the 3rd round a couple of years ago.
Yes, sir. Hills, I think, was one of the key stops. Right? You think about it, it was 3rd and 10.
Yeah.
It was, good pass rush.
And the field goal attempt is good for the Rams as they take the lead over the Cowboys here in the 4th quarter. 6:11 to play here at the Coliseum. Well, the weekend festivities in Canton last weekend were absolutely one to remember. It does fill the entire weekend, much more than just the game and enshrinement ceremony. Jerry Jones spent his stay signing autographs for fans, riding in a parade Saturday morning, doing the ceremonial jacket try-on, and a big party on last Friday night. I say it was a big party on last Friday night. So many great memories for the Jones family from Canton, Ohio.
It was a big party.
It was. You were in attendance.
Probably the best party I've been to, Bill.
It's certainly the most expensive. And coming out of the end zone and nowhere to go. It wasn't so easy for Wachiku.
I was telling people, me and I could screw up a party where I had 4 guys over for pizza and beer. Right? I said, no, I thought you were supposed to bring the pizza. No, and they had 900 people, and it was really unbelievable. Topped off, of course, by Justin Timberlake coming out as your entertainment. You're 15 feet away. Great.
Wachiku getting an earful from Jason Garrett. All right, so DeMarcus, what's Jason Garrett like as a coach?
He's one of those guys where he plays silent mind games with you. I mean, you don't understand when he sits back and when he really motivates you and talk to you as a team, and then on the side he will come to you and say, Marcus, you hadn't had any pressures today. You hadn't, played like you should play the player. So he actually makes you feel good, so you almost have no choice but to go out there and perform.
I like it. So he kills you with kindness.
He kills you with kindness.
I love it.
But he lets you know that he's expecting something out of you.
Now, would you say a lot of people, we see him on the sideline here, and a lot of people, they think he's not demanding?
He's very
that's a misnomer.
Very demanding, and he critiques everything all the way down from a 2-minute play to the last play of the game.
Breaking open, but short of the first down, Brian Brown.
I know in the offseason here, there was a mini camp or an OTA, DeMarcus. I believe it was an OTA, and showed the team 10 plays from the previous day of what he didn't like. There was a loaf, there was a running back that didn't run the required yardage after he caught the ball, all that stuff. So I think it is a misnomer. He's demanding. I just don't think he's as demonstrative, maybe. And the language isn't as salty as some coaches would use.
For sure.
Another 3rd down opportunity. Luke McCown going deep. In traffic, there's your flag. Noah Brown, the intended receiver.
Is this going to be a helmet-to-helmet, Bill? Because I don't think he got there early as a pass interference.
You got to think about how much they really are on concussions now and hitting a defenseless receiver.
Could be leaving his feet, and maybe they're just going to pick up the flag.
That may be because they're Cowboys marching back.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Defense, number 27. Hit against the defenseless receiver.
Yeah.
That's a 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
So it's from the line of scrimmage, 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, and you do know they're going to protect these guys at all costs there. Well, that's a tough one as a defender, though, isn't it, DeMarcus? I mean, you're just playing.
It's a tough one. You're
just playing
to
the
get your
football.
head out of there. You're just playing the football,
Yeah.
but if you hit them, they're going to call it.
So it's first down at the 30-yard line for the Cowboys. Deep down the sideline, Lance Lenoir trying to go over the top. Can't come up with it. Dominique Hatfield.
It's a time, and I've been in these situations. I can't tell you, like Roger Staubach and Troy Aikman can tell you what it feels like to go out there in a Super Bowl, but I can tell you what it's like to play in the fourth quarter of one of these, and you just want to stay on the field. You want to make first downs. You know, your opportunities are limited. McCown's getting himself a chance to play. The last thing you want is that 3 and out, so nobody happier than him that drive was sustained on the defenseless receiver penalty.
Luke McCown trying to get it to Wachiku. Can't. By the way, DeMarcus, once upon a time, starters would play on into the fourth quarters of these preseason games. Once upon a time, they played 6 preseason games every year.
Was I born once upon a time?
No, you weren't born once upon a time.
You were born after once upon a time.
Exactly. 10 yards to go.
I'll never forget the great Pat Summerall, the late great Pat Summerall. I was lamenting about something being back, then, and he said, simple rule of life, we're all born too early. I said, yes, there we go.
Lenoir well covered.
Broken up by the Rams, number 35, Michael Jordan.
That's Michael Jordan defending, number 35.
How many times has he checked into a hotel and had people disappointed? Oh, you're not that Michael Jordan.
Oh, man.
Now we have another room for you then. You're not in the presidential suite. Get another look there trying to shake him. That's a tough route to run against that coverage. It's man under, meaning man to man. You've got safety help behind you, so you just break it on anything that comes underneath. So that's
a little bit more aggressive with that.
Shakir Ryan. There's a flag down. Greg Rolstad will come over, consult with his brethren, and give us the call.
During the kick, holding, receiving team number 60. That penalty is half the distance to the goal from the end of the kick. First down.
Not sure which number 60 because there are 2 number 60s on the Rams roster. It's Eldrin Camp, or is it Davis?
That's great.
It's one of them.
So if you're a Cowboy, you know you're going to have trouble making the team if you're wearing 74. And if you're a Ram, if they give 2 guys the number,
that's when you have a problem.
Yeah, that's when you get a problem. I don't recall 2 94s when you were drafted in the first round, DeMarcus. No, I don't think so.
Rams back way back at the 9-yard line. It's at this point on the field that Taco Charlton got a sack earlier in the game. And falling down Dan Orlovsky. And there's nothing there. Veteran quarterback Dan Orlovsky was signed late in the offseason by the Rams. All right, DeMarcus, going back to 2005, your first preseason game? Seattle.
Sack, strip, fumble, and he recovers it. Then
there's DeMarcus.
Look at that interception. See, now, I always, Brad Sham and I would be on Cowboys radio, and we always said we did not like any defense that had DeMarcus Ware going backward. We wanted you going to the quarterback.
That was probably one of my only interceptions of my career. And I was going against Walter Jones, and I was trying to pass rush against Walter Jones.
Yeah, the great Walter Jones.
So they knew I wouldn't get any sacks, so they said, okay, maybe if he drops, he'll get an interception.
Hall of Fame.
You don't remember the 3 interceptions you had in your career?
I remember all of them. Yeah. I said maybe that was just the first one.
Okay.
Here's what I remember. You just had a phenomenal game. And I always say players in the preseason, they kind of announce themselves. And Dak Prescott did that last year. We've seen other guys do that. You did that in game 1. sack, strip, fumble. I think he had 2 sacks, interception, fumble recovery. Everything went on, and you only probably played about 20 or 30
And you learned that from the veteran guys. I mean, if it was Whitten or
the
Greg
veteran
Ellis,
guys couldn't do that.
They didn't do that, but they pushed me to do that. Like, you going out there, you better play the best of your capacity and get out there and play. Just get out there and run, Rook.
Nelson Spruce, nowhere to go. And that was Xavier Woods coming up.
The thing I most remember about that game, DeMarcus, is everybody was Craig Wolstadt.
First charge timeout. Dallas. This is 30-second timeout.
Everybody's jaw dropped.
Timer. Please put 3:28 on the game clock.
Good.
3:28. Thank you.
3:28, thank you, or you're fired. No, but after the game, everybody was obviously raving about your play, and DeMarcus, Bill Parcells, of course, in his post-game press conference, oh, what, do you want to get the anointing oil out on this kid? You want to get his bust ready for Canton? And I wanted to say, yes, I do, because that's where he's going.
Bill Parcells played so many mind games with me. Throughout practice, I had to get him Gatorade.
Right.
He told me what I was not and who I was not going to be every single game.
Please put 3:31
Good.
on the game clock. 3:31.
All right, there we got 3 more seconds back there. And I'm going to let you know, of course, the Cowboys are training out here in Oxnard, but you'll have a chance to watch the Cowboys as well as the Rams punt here. Lance Lenore inside the 40-yard line. Cowboys will host 6 practices as part of 2017 training camp at Ford Center at the Star in Frisco. August 21st through 24th and August 28th and 29th. So that starts a week from Monday on August 21st. This event will provide fans the opportunity to see current Cowboys players as they prepare for the 2017 football season. Yes, training camp is coming to Ford Center at the Star in Frisco a week from Monday. A chance to watch 6 practices. Monday through Thursday of that week, and then Monday of Tuesday of the last week of the preseason for the Cowboys. Luke McCown, at quarterback at the 38-yard line.
3:22 remaining in the game, and you're more likely to see Dak Prescott than you are Dan Bailey, Bill Jones.
McCown dives forward to the 30-yard line.
And the reason I say that is Jason Garrett does not like overtime in preseason. So he is not sending Dan Bailey to tie this thing up at 13.
Let me ask you, who does like overtime in preseason?
The guys that are playing.
Okay.
You don't think
these more
guys,
opportunities?
Yes,
more
yeah.
opportunities. Okay.
These guys that are sitting there trying to make the team. But Dan Bailey might as well go in and shower, get on the bus, go back to the hotel, whatever he wants to do. Because he ain't coming out here.
You said McCown's going to do whatever it takes to keep this game going, right?
To win this game right here. Little short of Brian Brown.
Had him open.
Ball is being spotted on the 31-yard line.
Take another look here. He's got decent protection, just a little bit short on the ball. There's Dan Bailey. Take the stuff off, Dan. Just he's not even looking for his helmet. You see that? All right, they got 2 plays here. 2 plays to make 2 yards.
Got to get to the 28.
Play clock's winding down.
Oh, and there's a loose football. And the Rams are on it. Los Angeles will take over. Luke McCown very frustrated.
Well, Luke McCown was trying to change the play up here, and the ball gets snapped. You see, he's trying to motion some people in. And the ball gets snapped before he's ready for the football. He doesn't know it's coming.
Those are the mistakes that you can't make, especially in the late in the game.
In fairness, how many reps
Well, never, excuse me, there's
in training camp?
Ross Burbank is the center on the left, number 61, and that was...
So whose fault is that? Center or the
That was
quarterback?
Frank Pollock, the offensive line coach. Yeah, the way that Ross Burbank was getting chewed out, I'm going to say it was his fault. I mean, I'm just... Otherwise, I would say, well, that was unnecessary for Pollock to get in his face like that. But...
There's a swarming Dallas defense.
In fairness, these guys haven't had a lot of reps. I know it's not an excuse for a coach, but come out. But again, he's
Charge timeout. Dallas. It's a 30-second timeout.
Well, and in the case of Luke McCown, he was signed 2 weeks ago, and then the Cowboys were in Canton for a week, and they returned to practice on Monday, and I was out there watching practices, and I could probably count on two hands how many reps I saw Luke McCown getting snaps in practice.
And I think McCown is here. Nobody will say this, obviously, but Dak's going to be your starter. Kellen's going to be your backup, and we'll see if Cooper Rush, he becomes a practice squad guy, and then Luke McCown's a guy, if somebody goes down during the season, he's at least had familiarity with your offense. You can bring in a veteran, and unlike the year they brought in Matt Castle during the regular season, he had no familiarity with the Cowboys offense. Now, let me say this. He has to show enough that they would want to bring him back in the event of an injury.
Charge timeout. Dallas. The 30-second timeout.
The Reliant Bring the Energy Defensive Player of the Game, brought to you by Reliant and NRG Company. How about Taco Charlton?
He reminds me a little bit of Pierre Paul.
Oh, I was going to hope you would say you. I wanted you to say he reminds me of me.
He's a tall, big guy. Yeah. He's what? How tall is he?
6'6", yeah.
6'6". And he's 273 or so is what he's listed right now. And when they drafted him, they weren't sure, okay, he might be able to put on weight and become a strong side defensive end, or he could be athletic enough, as in that case right there, he could play right defensive end.
Exactly.
We'll see. Jason Pierre-Paul, a guy you're very familiar with. He had a very nice career.
Yes.
Continues.
I remember the play Pierre-Paul made against Tony Romo. Went up to knock the pass down and said, I might as well intercept it and take it in for a touchdown.
Offense, number 73. That penalty's declined. The result of the play is fourth down.
So the Cowboys are going to have little time left, and again, in Luke McCown's, I don't want to say defense, but it becomes difficult. You got a bunch of guys out there that you're trying to get lined up, and Luke McCown's a 14-year veteran. You almost want to pull your hair out. You could see he was trying to motion somebody. Terrence Williams having himself a good time over there with Taco, isn't he? Terrence Williams did play in this game, by the way. He started.
Yep. He played quite a bit in this game too.
The only starting skill position guy to play. Dez sat, Witten sat, Zeke Elliott sat, Beasley sat.
And then a fourth-round draft pick, Ryan Switzer, who is coming back from a hamstring, didn't play tonight either. I'm looking forward to him playing next week. He's looked good in practice. If this was a regular season game, he would have been able to play. And Ryan Switzer showed there's a flag down on the punt here.
And the beauty about Switzer now, he missed about 10 days with that hamstring injury, but he got a lot of work in the offseason because Beasley missed the OTAs and minicamp for the hamstring injury. So he got a ton of work then that he wouldn't ordinarily have received. All right, Craig
I think he's
Wolstad.
probably going to be a good asset for the team, Switzer. He's more like a Beasley, type guy. Quick, catch the ball.
Illegal formation. Offense. Not enough men on the line. That's a 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay. Fourth down.
In fact, we were talking with Cole Beasley just on Thursday about the similarities or the dissimilarities between Ryan Switzer and him, and he said that he thinks Switzer is more of a Danny Amendola, Wes Welker type in the way he runs his routes. And I said, well, then what are you, Cole? And he said, he's more like the basketball player running his routes, like a point guard in basketball, what Cole said. He mentioned Jason Williams.
Danny Amendola, the guy the Cowboys had in training camp. I'll never forget, I went up to Jason Garrett, and Amendola was a rookie free agent, and I said, look, Amendola's on your team, figure out who the other four are. Yeah. He said, I don't know what your calendar says, but mine says July 28th. Like too early. So I still kid him about that. There's Ryan Switzer, number 10. Yep. Looks about 10 too, doesn't he?
We'll see if Luke McCown can rally the Cowboys in the final 2 minutes. 13-10, Rams lead the Cowboys with 1:55 left in this one. Going to be up to Luke McCown, the veteran, 14-year veteran who spent the last 3 seasons with the New Orleans Saints, to see what he can do to rally the Cowboys to a second straight victory this preseason.
And as a veteran, Bill, he knows he's probably going to get some soft coverage here. Just jump it down to Ronnie Hillman. He's got him as a running back, another veteran guy. Let him do some work for you.
To his tight end, Blake Jarwin out of Oklahoma State.
You know, it is funny, too, and as you mentioned, Bill, McCown got into camp late, so he doesn't have a lot of familiarity with the offense or the players, but there's always somebody that you develop a relationship with, a working relationship where you just trust him and you want to throw the ball to him. So right now, whoever that guy is, he's probably going to be looking for him.
That's how Jason Witten catches 16 balls in a game for Tony Romo.
Again, Hillman is a good little option here.
And there he is, number 34, Ronnie Hillman, got the first down. Under 145 now.
You know, when you have enough time here to kind of dink it and dunk it down the field, until you get under that 30-second mark, excuse me, you don't really need to stretch the field.
Down low to Brian Brown, number 18.
So how about as a defensive lineman here, DeMarcus? You get a little tired?
As a defensive lineman, I know that the offensive linemen are tired as well, so I make sure that I pin my ears back. And if my tongue's hanging out, guess what? Theirs worse. They're 3 times bigger than me.
Now, you weren't much of a trash talker, were you?
Never. I never talk trash.
Never.
But I wish that someone talked trash to me.
Oh, you
I try to put them on their back.
That motivated you a little bit?
Motivation.
Is there much trash talking going on in the trenches?
Right now, there's not, because they're tired. Late in the game, they're tired.
Lance Lenore, he had the muffed punt that led to the first touchdown of the game, the only touchdown of the game for the Rams.
Illegal shift on the offense. 2 men moving, never got reset. The 5-yard penalty. Replay, second down.
You practice these 2-minute plays like this all the time.
All the time.
And those little small detrimental things like that, that's what kill you.
Lenore out to the left side. Noah Brown, top of your screen. Downfield, and it's picked off Michael Jordan.
Yeah, that one had trouble written all over it. The minute Luke McCown let go of this football, there's just nowhere to put that ball. You just don't want to throw at a guy like Michael Jordan, do you?
No, not at all. Just the name, I don't even want to throw it that way.
That was just, you certainly have to put more air under the ball because otherwise I won't go there.
Yeah, no, the only hope there was that the 2 Ram defenders were going to collide with each other. And again, at that point in the game, you've got over a minute left. You don't need to force it down the field. Talking about trash talking, though, DeMarcus, I remember in Washington, Russ Grimm, Hall of Fame guard. Mark May was the tackle. Now does, of course, ESPN. Now we're going to review it. Now does college football. Well, Mark May would get into it with Randy White, who was a tackle, and just, they just boom, boom, boom. Go after him, call him names, be nasty to him.
It's one thing you don't want.
Yeah, and Russ Grimm would tell May, hey, knock it off, Mayday. I got to block the guy. So it's one thing if you talk trash to the guy across from you, but May's out of tackle talking trash to Randy White, who's over Russ Grimm. And Russ is like, don't rile the guy up.
You're not going against him.
Yeah, I love that.
But it is a lot of trash talking out there.
Yeah.
It is a lot of trash talking. At the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
I think it's just like an intimidation factor.
Yeah. What position group trash talks the most?
The corners and wide receivers.
Yeah. Guys like, say, Odell Beckham Jr. and Josh Norman, those 2. We'll get a replay on the interception here.
Oh, did Michael Jordan
Catch the ball.
Yeah.
They're taking a long time to look at it. Greg Wolstad, our referee, is under the hood there. Oh, that's out.
The defensive back did not complete the catch before the ball hit the ground. Therefore, it was an incomplete pass. It'll be 3rd and 15. Timer. Please reset the game clock to 1 minute and 14 seconds.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yes, I am.
Cowboys have another opportunity. Had that play been ruled an interception, the Rams could have taken a knee and ended this game. Instead, the Cowboys have an opportunity, 3rd and 15.
And obviously they'll have 2 plays here. So you don't have to get all of it on this first one. Try to get yourself 8, 9, 10. Get yourself into a 4th and 5. Cowboys go empty backfield here.
Achiku and Lenore to the left side. And the pass is complete. And that was the running back, Hillman. Clock still runs, couldn't get out of bounds.
Ronnie Hillman, receiver on the play.
And it's 4th down.
4th and about 8.
From the 37. He got 8, needs 7. Short of the sticks. Hamlet.
Yeah, and that's one where you
Think they're going for it?
That's one where your tight end Hamlet comes up injured. That was 4th down.
That was 4th down. Hamlet
not
hobbles off. They're going to measure, but it appears that Connor Hamlet was stopped short. The Cowboys have 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, Hannah came up limping this week. They got 6 tight ends on the roster, and Hamlet goes off there.
Cowboys have to be ready with a play here, though, Bill, because the clock will start. Cowboys don't have a timeout. The clock will start if they...
And it's Rams football, way short of the first down. Let's go down to the field and Lindsay. Lindsay?
Yeah, guys, down here on the sidelines, Connor Hamlet is getting his right ankle and knee checked. He could not even put any weight when he walked off with the athletic trainers. They are currently moving that right shin and ankle area. That's Connor Hamlet.
Connor Hamlet out of Oregon State.
Hopefully it's not too bad. I was there in practice this week when right in front of me, Tyrone Crawford goes down, and if you put a gun to my head, I would have said it's a season-ending injury because he couldn't move. He was pounding the cart when they took him off, and it just looked like that injury that was going to be a season-ender, and obviously it turned out to be just an ankle sprain, and he should be back for the opener.
And I know Tyrone Crawford was fearful that it was another Achilles. Of course, it was 4 years ago on the first day of training camp. He suffered an Achilles injury that ended his entire season. So that will do it tonight. The Essilor play of the game. How about this one? Going up top, Cooper Rush to Rico Gathers, the former Baylor basketball player, his 2nd touchdown of the preseason. Essilor, makers of Transitions, Crizal, and Verilux lenses. Better sight, better life.
Cooper Rush played very well. Rico Gathers, 2 touchdown catches. 2 touchdown catches now in 2 games.
Yeah, Rico has been a sight to see this preseason so far. All right, we'll be back to wrap up this thing from the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum in just a moment.
Rams had the early lead after 1 quarter, 7-0 on a touchdown. Cooper Kupp fell on it after Robert Woods caught a slant from Jared Goff, and now Johnny Hecker is back. The punt to Lance Lenore out of his own end zone. Lenore muffed one earlier, leading runs it across midfield before getting popped by the rookie tight end, Gerald Everett.